In the Urban Land and Water program at Green Spaces Alliance, we support community gardens because they don't just grow plants, they empower communities. We're really here as a connection point for the community gardens in San Antonio so that they are able to remain sustainable long-term. Gardens serve families, recently resettled refugees, senior citizens, people of color, children, people from all backgrounds and all walks of life.
At Green Spaces Alliance, we focus on community gardens because it is a grassroots way to protect green spaces in an equitable and accessible way for all San Antonians.
Gardens in the GSA network is more than the garden, right? The garden is just like the centerpiece that the people come around. It's a community, right? It's a community garden, a community center, a community school. So I think of it more than the garden. I think of it as building communities.
Community gardens are an anchor for change in a neighborhood. They allow folks to come together to share ideas. They allow communities to grow leaders in that community where they might not have had them before. It also grows the community and strengthens the community.
A lot of community members, were scared or didn't want to walk past these areas. I believe in 2015, 2016, a young man was actually shot and killed, on these premises. So it had gotten pretty bad. What we did is conduct community volunteer days for the neighbors, the residences, the business members to come in and help us together rebuild this little half acre. It's been successful. We've been able to help reduce crime, but I think this is sort of like a seed to get started, right? And see that growth as a prototype that can be expanded and sown in other locations.
Community gardens are a way to not only grow food, but they can strengthen ties within families and from those families to their community and their culture.
If you want to think about redemption, in my own family, my husband was diagnosed with cancer. It had been a tough 2.5 years, but we were at the point now where my husband was doing fine, but we were still struggling to get out of that crisis mode. And he brought home some seeds and put them on the kitchen table. And he was like, I've asked for a plot at the community garden. I'm going to take a plot back. I'm going to start growing. And suddenly we were talking about spring, and we were talking about things growing, and that we were going to be talking about the future. Because of this garden, that was, for our own family, it's redemptive.
GSA is necessary. I hope that every city, has some type of land trust or community garden network that allows them to tap in, because what's happening in Eastside San Antonio happens, in other regions all around the nation in their major cities. We can't provide housing, we can't provide maybe social work services, but what we can do is empower people to become self-sufficient and increase access to fresh fruits and vegetables.
So Green Space Alliance made what you see here today possible. Not only did they provide the funding for us, but they provided guidance and support. They helped us do workshops, they helped us with ideas to reach out to community, and really we could not have done this without them. And I mean that sincerely.
Helping people to come together around community gardens and urban farms is really what's crucial. The challenge that they're facing right now is that many of them are at capacity. So without greater resources, they won't be able to match the growing demand for urban green spaces in San Antonio. Funding from Impact San Antonio will help us make much needed physical improvements at 7 community gardens and facilitate more events and educational workshops to help boost each garden's capacity to serve their community. These community gardens are going to become safer, they'll provide more space for people to grow food for their households, and they'll serve as educational hubs for their neighborhoods. We want San Antonio's community gardens to achieve long-term sustainability, and this project will help us reach that goal.